Hello, good evening. How are you all doing? Let me see if we have you all now on. We had a little technical difficulty early on. So let me make sure that we are live. Okay, I think we've got it. I think we've got it now. How are you all doing? So we've had some technical challenges in getting started. I hope that we have that problem resolved now. For now, let me just apologize to those who have been messaging me and wanting to know what's going on, what's going on. I appreciate the concern. Yes. Let me make sure that we also have all of our people on. All right. So the thing is that we've started a new system that there are some people who want to follow the program and need to follow us on YouTube. We were attempting to get the broadcast simulcast on YouTube and on Facebook. But for one reason or the other, we had some technical difficulties with that. So right now we are just on Facebook and hopefully we'll be able to transfer it to YouTube at another time. Okay, let me just ask you to share the live and invite your people to come in, join us. Looking forward to having you for this important topic that we are going to be discussing for today's, whether it is chemistry or compatibility. Share the live, my people. Share the live. Okay. Let me just give a little while for some people to join us. Some people who might have thought that we might have changed our minds. We have not changed our minds. We are here. All right. Call your friends and family. Tell them Rock and Come In. Mike at Night is on. I know that we were off for quite a while. Myrtle, good evening. Nice to have you. Good evening, Candice. Josanne. Yes, Rock and Come In, Josanne. Rock and Come In. Nice having all of you all. And thank you very much for waiting. I appreciate that. We're going to get this thing settled sooner or later. So don't worry. We will get it organized. So we're talking today about whether you are compatible or whether it is a chemistry thing. And what do you mean by that? A lot of times that we feel so connected to somebody, we feel so attracted to the person. It seems as though we have something real going on. And we make the decision based on that chemistry, that infatuation. You like the person strong, and you make the decision on that. But when you get into the relationship, you recognize that the relationship not working. You're not getting along. So you and the person break up. And in breaking up, when you and the person break up, what you find is that you all meet again a couple of weeks later, months later, years later, and you all have a thing going again. And you want it back again. And you'll try to make something out of it. And in trying to make something out of it, it still didn't work again. And have you ever been in that revolving door in the relationship with the same person? You are in the relationship with the same person over and over again. And it seems as though you can't get the person off of your mind. Yes? Myrtle says she's not hearing. I wonder why Myrtle is not hearing. Josanne says she's hearing fine. So Myrtle, I'm sorry, you might need to check out something. So if you all are hearing me, just show up the thumbs and the hearts. Let me make sure that you hear me, because this is going to be important for what we see. This is going to be crucial. So we're talking about, nice, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Rock and come in, people. So in the relationship, you know, it's as though you can't get the person out of your heart. Yes? But somehow the other you all don't get along. You can't make the decision based on the chemistry. You have to make the decision based on compatibility. And I want to just share with you a few things to help you understand your need for the areas that you need to investigate to know whether it is compatible. So for some of you all, I've written it up on the board there to help you all there. Number one, intense attraction. Whenever it's intense, it is this strong attraction. There's a high chance this is just chemistry. Because we interpret love to mean the way you flutter about the person, the goosebumps when you hear their voice and what it does for you. When you see them, how they make you feel. Chemistry. Nothing is wrong with chemistry, but you can't make the decision on the chemistry. But that has a lot to do with chemistry. And I'm really talking about what I'm bringing from here is from a psychological article written by Miss Chase. It's not the first time I'm quoting Miss Chase, Isabella Chase. And this is an article published on August 20th this month. And in it, she gives the signs that couples should look for to detect chemistry, but not really long-term compatibility. And what she's saying is that this intense infatuation that people feel when you meet somebody, well, it says that this honeymoon type of feeling that we experience that comes upon us early in the relationship sometimes could last for between a couple of months to as much as a year or even more than a year. So that feeling that you have, the exhilaration and the cloudiness that you're feeling, etc., that you tell yourself, this must be it. May not necessarily be. So she says that there is that immediate attraction can just be whittled away after a while. So don't make the decision on that. The second thing that she says is that you all have different goals. All right? Different goals, or what I call incompatible goals. You like the person. You're attracted to the person. You all have good times together. But your plans for the future. She wants to further her studies. She wants to be able to settle in her career. She wants to travel the world. But you want to settle down with a family. You want to settle down in a situation that you want to start family life early, you want to build a house and all of that. Then your goals are incompatible. If your goals are incompatible, then you are also incompatible. Because there are three things that you must have in order for a relationship really to handle itself properly. Three things. It will never work if these three things are not there. Number one, you must have the same values. You can't have different values and expect compatibility. And the values are, even as moral values are concerned, you are an upright citizen, Christian person, and your boyfriend is a gangster. You know, those two different values. Even as far as your Christian values are concerned, the Bible talks about being unequally yoked. You believe in God and your boyfriend or your girlfriend doesn't believe in God at all. They are an atheist. Or they don't consider God to be anything that they need to go after. It's incompatible. It is going to break down at some point. Either you will not be able to hold strong to your Christian principles, belief, and your persuasions, or you will have to now move over to being like the person that you're in the relationship with, or that person move and come across to your belief. You see, because those value systems are very important. Okay, let me go further. You all have children, you're married. You're a Christian, your boyfriend is not a Christian, or your girlfriend is not a Christian. When carnival comes, where do you want your children to go? Answer me that. When carnival comes, where do you want your children to go? To with your spouse to carnival, or to you to carnival events and carnival camp that the church may be having? So there must be some breakdown that takes place at some point in time. Well, let them make up their own mind. Well, then how serious are you to train your child up in the nurture of God? So those incompatible goals that are very crucial. If therefore family life is your value, you believe in family life, but your spouse don't believe in family life. Your spouse believes that we could have a fluid relationship, that you could have a friend that decide, and this the next person could have a friend that decide, and you could afford to still be in a marital relationship, but you could have your extra things going on and so on. You two different values. Yeah. So what Ms. Chase is saying is that you could be incompatible with your goals. So that is one. Values is one. Two, you must have the same interest. Not all your interests necessarily be the same, but you can't be interested in something and your spouse not even interested in any of the things that you do. It's going to break down. You like to spend quality time, you like to go for walks, you like to go to the movies, you like to spend some time on the beach and so on, and that person has no time for all of that. Do you think that will work? No, the interests are not there. That person like to go hunting, but you can't go hunting with them. You see? So values must be in sync, interest must be in sync, and thirdly, your future goals, and this is the one that we're on here now. Your goals must be compatible. You can't get away from that. All right? Those are the problems are must. Good evening, Michelle. Good to have you. Right, there'll be a conflict with interest, says Chef. Good evening, good evening. All of you who just joined us, thank you all very much for joining us, and thanks for your patience. All right. Yes, Myrtle, thank you very much. So, that is the other one that the article spoke about. We must have goals that that we must be in sync with. And once we have different life goals, then the chemistry doesn't solve that. The chemistry leaves us out. So we must be able to see eye to eye on that. Let me go to the third one. This third one that is mentioned is excitement over stability. Are you excited or are you stable? That's what we mean by excitement over stability. There are some people just excited about their relationship. They just in awe, and they just have this flurry about, hey, this relationship going nice and so on, posting on Facebook, all of that. You see, talking about my honey, my friend, and so on. All of that excitement doesn't give you compatibility at all. Because those same people that you see posting so much about this relationship that they're in, many of those relationships can very well come to a screeching halt. The excitement don't make stability. In fact, as their relationship that is stable really don't have all of that flurry. You are settled in the relationship because you know what you want. Don't let your feelings fool you and set you up that because you're feeling nice in the relationship, that this is a good relationship. It might be a good relationship as a friend, but not necessarily as a partner. You understand me? I hope you're all getting me now. So this excitement over stability is usually during the honeymoon period, especially. And the honeymoon period is usually about 6 months to 2 years, actually. Not 1 year, 2 years that you could feel in this intoxication of emotion that some people experience. Because at that time, whenever you get into a relationship, dopamine, which would make you want to repeat things and do it over and over again. Anybody who's on dope, always going on doing the same thing again to get the same high. So you're in that mode. Oxytocin is the happy hormone that makes you feel excited and nice and happy and everything is nice and dandy and so on. But that is a full paradise to live in. It's nice to experience, but you can't live in that. Stability. This is a stable relationship, and the relationship is stable because it can go through rocky periods. It can go through some down times without the person throwing up their arms and saying, I'm no longer in love. This is what causes people to talk about that kind of thing. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. I have fallen out of love with you. I don't feel the same way about you. That was because it was excitement. That is what is being the chemistry. And once somebody tell you, I don't feel the same way about him, I don't feel the same way about her, they depended on chemistry to run their lives. All right, let me see what people say in there now. All right, if you all have anything to share, let me know. Davika Alak Fast. Davika, this is the first time I'm seeing you all. Welcome. Good night. Society has to assist people in developing health, self-concept, and this filters into every relationship. I would love you to tell me how we're going to get that done. But I agree with you. But how we're going to get that done is another thing. Glenn Darling said they're putting up a front. Can excitement be maintained in a relationship? Not at the same pace. Not at the same pace, my girl. It tapers off. You see? It moves from this chill and this emotional thing to a subtle kind of, I'm going home to my husband, I'm going home to my wife. I'm invested in the family. I feel good about my family. And it feels good because why? Because I look forward to do this in the relationship. This is what we experience in this relationship. It's not about the that happy hour that we go to, excited because we're going out this weekend, that courtship brings with it. This is a stable thing. You have to make decisions, financial decisions, and some of those financial decisions may say, we can't be going out this weekend. But the person knows that because we have a goal and we both have the same goal because we're looking to move out of renting house to being able to live in our own house, we have to give up some stuff. The person who wants the excitement don't care about moving into this house, Why can't we go and just enjoy ourselves tonight? That is what they'll be concentrating on because they want to get back that feeling of dopamine and oxytocin and so on. Yes? Sheila, welcome. Good evening. Nicole, Stuart, nice having you. All right. Excitement is not sustainable. It can't be. If this person is all emotional, excited, and getting the same goosebumps whenever they see you, no, question that. That is chemistry. Chemistry is nice, but chemistry has a time. You have to jettison that. for stability and compatibility. All right? If you just joined us and if you are interested in private counseling, the telephone number is on the screen. 868-480-0080. Any part of the world. We do virtual and all. So don't worry about that. Some of the things that we are talking about, maybe you are in that situation. I've met so many people who get into relationships and they feel so good about the relationship, but they know the relationship is not good for them. They feel good about the relationship, but they know the relationship is not good. And they are confused. They have what we call cognitive dissonance. So they back and forth. And there are some people have been in the same relationship with the same person more than 5 times. In, give it up, come out. Meet the person some years later, they may have had another relationship in between, and then go back to the same person with the relationship. Or, as happened on many occasions also, while you are with the other person, after having left this person that you have a chemistry with, you're with somebody else, and this first person is who you're meeting clandestinely, because there's where the chemistry is. You see, because that works. So if you mix chemistry with compatibility, then you have a workable situation on your hand. But it cannot be chemistry only. Okay, my people. Let's go, because I know we started late, and thank you all so much for logging back on, even though we started late. All right. So during this excitement phase, the brain releases these chemicals and has us in a roller coaster experience that makes us struggle when it comes to handling our lives and wanting to get things going in our lives. By the time financial issues come along, family sickness comes along and so on, you don't need chemistry for that, you know. You need a compatible relationship to weather you through that time. That can't be weathered because you feel nice about the person. All right? So, let's go to the other one now. Which one are we? We are number 4, is it? We are the 4th one? I think it is. All right. So let's go to the one about chemistry. When people are heavy into chemistry, they don't like the hard talk, the real talk, because they don't want to mess up this nice feeling that they have. So they avoid the hard talk. They keep the relationship running smooth. They hold back on saying how they truly feel. And that's the danger of the chemistry. Because the difficult conversations, they don't put that on the schedule. They overlook those. So really, you're living a lie. You're not happy about certain things, but you can't mention them because it is going to destroy this nice experience that you're going through. But if you want really long-term relationship and compatibility, you have to address some matters that are difficult to deal with. So, and if you have a good partner who's also thinking long-term and compatible, they will want to hear some of those hard discussions, some of the things that have you up and down emotionally. But if a couple avoids having these tough decisions, according to Miss Chase, it may be a sign that while they are enjoying the company, they might not be equipped to experience and endure a long-term sustainable stable relationship. That's the fact. So anytime the person doesn't want to talk about those things, ask yourself why. Probably they don't want to disturb their equilibrium. All right? So let's go now to number five. Number five. Number five. Number five says that we focus when we are looking for looking for chemistry. We focus more on similarity rather than our differences. We try to ignore the differences as though they're never there. So we only talk about how things going and how this person is so kind and how they're so considerate and all the positive things we focus on. Nothing is wrong in focusing on positive. But there must be some negatives in the relationship. And if you are sincere and real with yourself, your differences is what brings you closer together, not your similarities. Because what you like, they like, doesn't help you. Is what is different in this person. This person thinks differently, and you can gain from their different way of thinking. This person does things differently. You might be able to consider other ways of doing things. But when we force people to be like us, think like us, decide like us, operate like us, we are asking them to give up themselves to be similar to us. That's not going to work. It is learning how different the person is and trying to use those differences in how they see the world and how they adapt to things around them. That is really going to bring you all closer together. So here's what the lady said. She says that when we share intense chemistry with someone, it's easy to focus on the similarities that we share. And she says that you might find yourself downplaying or outright ignoring the differences. And she says these similarities in taste, because you like the same things to eat, you like the same restaurants, you like the same things, the same jokes, the same hobbies, same type of things you're enjoying fun. Those are normal, but you can't focus on that only. And she says it's the differences that truly test a relationship's long-term compatibility. Because what do you think we fall out on? Is how the next person doesn't do like us. And here how we phrase it. To show how it is. If it was me, I would never have done that. Have you said that? Because you expect the person to do like you. I would have never said that because you expect the person to say like you. I would never have gone there. Well, I would never dress like that because you want them to do like you, but this person is not you. Can you now sit down and discuss your differences without trying to make the person do like you and behave like you? I hope you all are getting me. Right? If you all have any questions, just put it in the chat. Let me get it. Rose agrees with me. Differences in the relationship. We are not clones. We are not drones, says Kenneth. Real awareness facts, says Myrtle. There are many who bounce their heads by the front facade. They fall for and run after. Of course, you see somebody, and many times we fall in love, chef, because of the way the person looks. That's chemistry. Person is charming, the person is beautiful, the person is handsome, and that's chemistry. Umadara, Guyana, nice seeing you on. Yes? But chemistry can't take you through rough times. No way. And you ask yourself, why after 3 years, a relationship that started off with such intensity and a wedding that was full of flurry and excitement and a lot of gaiety, you end up in 3 years time divorce. Mm-mm. No, sir. Chemistry is not a predictable thing. You got to start getting comfortable with things that we don't like. Yes, and there are some things in people that is not we're not comfortable with, but we can learn from them and we can adjust to them. That's part of life. All right, so let's move on now. Passion over friendship. Now, this one is important because what the passion over friendship says is that we prioritize things we love to do and our emotions over the fundamental thing that this is my friend. Your friendship is critical. Passion is beautiful. And because of passion, it gives you the spark and everything and making the moment be so precious. But that's a flame. And as bright and exciting that that flame is, how do you keep that flame burning? How do you keep it existing? Friendship. And a lot of people were never friends before they get into their relationships as dating people and as boyfriend, girlfriend. Because they never had a friendship and they went straight into a relationship. When the relationship ends, you do not have a friendship or a friend to fall back on. So you'll fall back on a relationship that is enemy and enmity because the person was never a friend. If the person is a friend, you can afford to break up in the friendship, in the relationship itself. The person will still be your friend. We just can't make it. We just don't get along. We're not compatible, but you are my friend. How many times have people broken up and they don't talk to the person that they broke up with? They don't want to see the person. The person is technically an enemy. You can't tell me that person was your friend. And that's how you have now started treating the person. No. And that's why they say develop friendship. And once the relationship is going along friendship, compatibility is almost assured. But if it is that you just met, I've met people, I've met people who said that they met somebody in a function one evening. 2 days later, they are living together. Yeah? A popular talk show host was interviewing a lady recently, and I'm watching it. In 3 days, she was already going to the bank to take out loan to assist the guy that she's now in a relationship with. She met him only 3 days. Walked into a workplace, she liked him, chemistry. And in 3 days now, she was walking into a bank, taking out money so that he can get it to deal with his business. He got the money, he got the loan, and so on. Bam. The guy doesn't call her anymore. What did you expect? So she didn't have a friend. Where was the friendship in that? So obviously that guy is now her enemy. Are you all getting me, people? I hope you all getting me. You know? So a couple with amazing chemistry would prioritize passion. Especially if we mix that passion with great sex, wonderful sex. You will swear that this person is for you. It's a relationship made in heaven, but you are clouded in smoke and you are forgetting to nurture the friendship that can last you for years. Without that strong foundation, my people, I don't know what else we have. We are building relationships on sinking sand. It's not on a rock. So trials and tribulations can't exist on passion. It has to exist on a settled mind that is focused on building each other up. All right? So let me give you, we have time, I could give you one more. I could give you another one. All right? And anybody who want to stay on, we might even be able to give them more. Compromise. If the relationship, there is a time in your life when you're madly in love with somebody, and this chemistry that operates between the two of you. But there comes a time, over a period of time, that you begin to butt heads on some little things. You all get away for a lot of things. Getting away and falling out and disagreeing is not an issue. But when you build it upon passion and chemistry, once the person doesn't agree with you, you think the person is against you. Once you all have falling out, you think the relationship is broken down. And that's the falsehood of it. Because that's part of the relationship. But because you want to hold on a feeling, I don't feel good, I don't feel happy whenever we quarrel and so on. You want to hold on the feelings. That is what is going to let you think that the relationship is unstable. So you will fall out about where to eat. You will fall out about what to do for the weekend. You all will fall out about the children. You will fall out about so many things. But if the strong personalities that brought you all together and you all are not willing to compromise, then that means you have a deeper issue. Compatibility is a difficult thing for you because you don't know how to give up something for the sake of the relationship. Because you like to do this, you want to do this, this is how you think it should be, you hold on to that and you're not compromising, then that is not, there's no way it could be compatible like that. So compromise isn't about losing or just giving up desires. Compromise is in the sake of the relationship, the respect of the person. You are willing to give up for it. It's about understanding the person, understanding what is the bigger picture, what's the greater good. Without that, relationship gone through. All right, so I'll give you all 7 of them now. Let me see what you all say. Pretty facts and the dirty character. Pretty face and the dirty character. Yeah, that is a song. Marry your friend that you respect. Jonelle Clement says, what if during the courtship period, you trained, guided your future spouse in a way you thought would help them to evolve and reach their potential, but years into the marriage, you feel you are still training because that individual isn't stepping up? After all this time, would you say there was ever compatibility? Well, Jolene, while it's a good question, I don't have all the information that would help us to be able to sort out that, because what if the training and guiding that is being offered to the spouse is not a direction of training and guiding that that person wants, but it might be one spouse wanting that training and guidance in that particular direction. So then they may have incompatible goals as to what each person wants for themselves or for the relationship. So it's hard for me to give a blanket answer on that. But as I said, my number is up there. People If we do private counseling at a cost, we do private counseling. And I'm willing to sit down with some people. All right. I'm trying to read some of these. Why a person don't want to compromise and he or she say that's controlling. I'm not too sure what the question is. Is it that the person does not want to compromise? Um, inside of any relationship, compromise has to be something that must take place, because compromise means that I'm actually giving up something for the greater good. I'm doing it in the interest for the best result. But I may want to do certain things. Let's say that we have in our budget $3,000, and I was planning to buy a car deck for my vehicle, because the car deck I have not playing, so I driving for hours and there's no music, no sound and so on. I want to play like that car deck. And that car deck cost me $1,500. Right? But the washing machine broke down. And my wife feels that to wash with her hands, coming home from work, to wash with her hands and so on, and to hang out clothes is a bit of irksome. Shouldn't a compromise take place? And if a compromise is to take place, who is to compromise? It's not a matter of what I want. It has to be for the greater good. And you all tell me, who should make that compromise to give up their desire for the sake of the greater objective? Tell me. All right? See if all look could answer me then. Should it be the me who won the cadet for 1,005? Or should it be my wife giving up that washing machine? Because I had already, before she talked about washing machine, I talk about I going to buy my cadet. Benton said that I should give it up. And that's how it works. You understand? But when you're in a relationship with somebody who does not compromise, because they're not giving up anything, because they find that they need to keep hold on what they had in mind and what they want to achieve, then compatibility is out the door. All right? Kenneth say I should give up the song system. And sure, I'm supposed to give up that song system with ease. There is no question in the mind of a person who understands long-term relationship who should give up that. Anytime you have to work that out between a washing machine and a car deck, then there is something terribly off in this thinking process in that situation. All right. So I gave you all 7. If you all don't mind, let me give you another one. Seeing that we did start late, let me see if I could give you another one. So compromise was it? It would not be written now because of the fact that I'm just giving you all a bonus. I didn't put that on the screen. All right. So chemistry causes people to ignore the red flags. Open red flags. An open red flag could be the man has 4 children for 3 different women. Ain't that a red flag? The woman has 4 children for 3 different men. Ain't that a red flag? How come? What is it that is going on there? No, I'm not saying that the person is a bad person, but it must be something to consider. Whether you are not now going to be the fifth, that's a red flag. But chemistry would cause us to ignore all red flags. When the person gets angry, the person gets so angry that they break things, but they don't hit you. Isn't that a red flag? Because after a while, if you smoke one joint, you're not going to continue just smoking one joint. You're going to increase your joints. And if you hit and breaking things, you're going to graduate. Isn't that a red flag? And they say people who are in chemistry, they are blind to red flags. They see it only when the red flags start to run red. Yeah? So the person horn you once, they horn you twice, they horn you three times. You're not even in a marriage relationship. They come back and say sorry every time. And you see that as a red flag? Well, they didn't mean it. And there are so many red flags. Red flags could mean that they spend money while on frivolities, not on necessities. It's as though they can't hold money in their hand, like it does burn their hand, and they have to spend it fast to get rid of the burn. You must know that. The person has high-end taste. Nothing wrong with having high-end taste. Nothing wrong with having expensive taste. But expensive taste in a scenario where you cannot handle your necessary bills is madness. That must be a red flag. When the person goes on a holiday with the rent money, so you did not put rent as important. Your holidays overseas on a plane took priority. That is a red flag. It says something about your processing. I hope you are getting me. So you are incompatible if you are in a relationship and you are more focusing on things that make you ignore these red flags. That's not good. I'll give you one more and then we call that a night. When people focus on the present and ignore the future. Yes, when you look at today and what's going on now between us, we're enjoying life now. But what happens down the road? When we are not willing to engage discussions on the future, and it is important for when people sit down in relationship to talk about what are your plans for the future. You know, it's hurtful when you sit down with couples in session, counseling session, and the person finds out way into the relationship, sometimes into the marriage, that their spouse don't want children. They never knew that the person even would have thought about that. And the person is stuck now. They say, well, but I want children. So I'm asking, did you all ever discuss this? No, I just thought that they would want children too. And the person said, no, I don't want no children. Because you all were just focusing on the present. You all need to talk about future. You can't get into the relationships, down into the relationship solid, and find out that one wants to go away and study for 3 years. And the other one said, no, where you going? No, I'm not getting into that. You can't be leaving after we married to go away and study. That puts the relationship into instability. So you all never discuss that? That is why all the hanky-panky that we're doing during courtship and touching and lovey-dovey and doing all of that chemistry type of activity, you should stop that long enough to start settling down and establishing, investigating whether this relationship is compatible, whether you all have something built upon. One person said, investigate before you invest. Investigate the person, investigate their dreams, investigate their thoughts before you invest. Talk about the future. You get into the relationship, never even talk about marriage. 7 years later, you know, bringing up marriage. And I said, no, I don't believe in marriage. And I hear people say that. I don't believe in marriage. When people married, some people say, when people married, there's breakup. I hear people say, I was in school with me and the person, was in school together for long. We come out of school, we still together. The marriage, the relationship worked. We know each other for 18 years. And now they're telling me that they want to get married. No, I don't want to get married because it was working all the time. Marriage just mashed that up. But one force, and they force the person to get married, and then they get married, and they really did break up in two. Because they were incompatible. They didn't have the same goals and dreams. And certainly they didn't discuss it. They were only considering the present, but not the future. My people, I hope that today's session helped you all. I hope you enjoyed it. What model tell me to do a research? Oh yeah, research on the person. Rose, I wonder what Rose saying oh boy about. Can how to say sometimes we just say when we get married, the person will change. Change? All right. So join me next week for another edition of Mike at Night. That people will ask the other person what he or she will do if they are not in the country. Well, if the relationship is on friendship, then the person can afford to leave the country and the relationship supposed to still hold stable. You see? We can't keep our hands on people, keep our eyes on people all day long. Give people a chance to be able to be themselves. Yeah. Thank you, Benton. Appreciate that. Okay, my people. We still will try for that YouTube broadcast. We're trying to do that simulcast. We didn't get it over tonight. I'll try to make sure that we get that right on the next one. All right. Oh, Myrtle says avoiding real talk. Facts. Okay, people. Mike at Night. Next week, Thursday. We'll be back on. God bless you. Keep good now. All right. Let me see if I do have my. All right. Here we go. Let's make sure that we come out with our theme.